Hello and welcome to Stage 2 of the Formula One British Grand Prix event. Here we are going into race number 1, starting right away. Now this one's different. In this event, we've got to keep the speed under 185, but you can push it. So because it says my nice even number is 185, I will switch to miles per hour. Much easier to keep my eyes on it if I switch to that viewpoint. And as you probably know, if you race chase view, sometimes you can't see your speed. Now, I do not want to win this race. Don't get me wrong, I do want to win it, but it says nothing about finishing first place. It doesn't even show me what position I'm in. And what I was saying in the prior day was, if it doesn't tell you what place you have to finish last. That's going to keep things easier going forward. You see, the way that you control how hard things get is you run as slow as possible. This is true everywhere in the game. Like if you're having trouble in a certain series, you can go to a speed snap or drag race or autocross, finish last a whole bunch of times, and then your cup race is going to be way easier, or your endurance race or whatever you're looking at. And for the most part, I want those as hard as I can make them, so I often run fast on purpose. Here, running fast is going to mean you're going to have to spend more currency later on. So we want to keep this as slow as possible, to a reasonable degree. Unfortunately, that means that we won't be making much currency on this particular stage, but that's okay. There's other ways to make up for that. Now, in case I haven't mentioned it, there are timestamp links in the description. If you want to jump to a certain race, you can do that. And I mentioned in my Stage 1 video that I would explain how I'm starting Stage 2 so early, because I always get asked about this. Okay, if you watch my Update 8.7 video, it will tell you that this event doesn't start until September 18th. Well, it was September 17th when I started Stage 1, because I'm in the Western Hemisphere. And so most people in the Western Hemisphere are experiencing this. So that's Canada, United States, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Peru, so many countries over here in the Western Hemisphere are starting this on September 17th. Didn't name them all, don't mean to leave anyone out, but sorry, there's a lot of countries over here to name. Alright, so that's why midnight local time, Stage 2 unlocks for me and for everyone else in the Western Hemisphere if they started Stage 1 prior to midnight. So there you go. That's why you're already seeing this video. Now, I don't want to finish in first place. So I'm going to have to kill some time here, and there's various different ways to do it. Sometimes you have to do boring ways. So for this one, we just had to be careful. Don't go over 185. You can actually hit 185, which you might have seen me do a couple of times. You're just not supposed to go over. So, and you shouldn't be going off track either. Now, I'd love to be doing donuts, but unfortunately, I was doing that here before, and I failed the stage because someone hit me. So here, I'm wondering if I can finish. I was thinking about doing donuts, and I better not. Okay, so, whoa, nuts! As you can see, we still have a grace period for how much we can go off track. Now, he's hitting the brakes, so I better get out of his way so he will go by me. And then these guys, look at this, coming really close, really wide. Like, why are you coming that close to me? I'm giving you all sorts of room. I have to back up each time. It's kind of strange. I think that's the last guy. Yep. Now I can go finish in last place. And unfortunately, that's going to really hurt my earnings. But it is going to make it so that my bots should be easier as we get to the later stages. And that's what 12th place earns me. Ugh, pitiful. Okay, now this one, the minimum speed requirement is 220 kilometers per hour average speed. So that's a lot easier to remember than 136.7, so I'll switch back to kph, and that's going to be easier. Now, when you have an average speed race and you don't want to finish first, and you do want to finish last, you got to find some place where you can run the opposite direction. Because you can't just slam on the brakes and sit there, because then you won't make average speed. So no problem. You find some place you can turn around. You don't necessarily, boy, I'm wasting a lot of my average speed doing it that way. Now the danger here is I've got to dodge oncoming traffic. I'm doing 200 and they're probably doing about 200. Okay. So, I wasn't really thinking this through very much. I'm doing donuts. This is killing my average speed. But you know what? With this much time to go, I don't expect it's going to be a problem. Like with that many laps. So let's just see if I can catch the pack again and how long it takes me to build average speed. If you're familiar with Silverstone, then braking points won't be a problem for you. However, if you're not, then maybe you'd like to know, okay, well, we're going to stay full throttle here. So coming to corner 1, you definitely stay full throttle. Same with going through corner 2. Brake just after the curb starts here into the gas midpoint of the corner. Losing it a little bit, yikes. Here you're full throttle. Definitely full throttle through this section here, nothing to worry about. I'm surprised to be gaining on this guy already. Okay, if you watch on your right, there's a chunk of dirt on the track right there. And that's about where I want to brake at, and then brake about where the curb starts on the inside line. Into the gas hard. Heading into Cop's Corner, you stay full throttle as long as you've got your grip. So if you watch your trajectory, you just fly through this one. Then we get into Maggots and Beckett's Complex. Then Chapel Curve. So Beckett's Complex is where I'd be braking, like right in here if I didn't lose it. And then this is Chapel Curve, and you definitely take that. So you only need to brake at one point in that section. And then we're heading into Stowe. Watch on your left. There's a bit of a shaded section. Used to be a banner there. That's about where you'd brake in most cars, not in these. You brake way past that. Watch on your left, the barrier. Braking about where the barrier starts, a bit later, depending on how much you want to push it. Woo! Wow, I had one tire left on track. And there you go. That's about the braking points that you're looking for. Now, I'm getting into a higher position than I want to be in, but I'm not much over my average speed requirement. So we'll see what this is like. I might find another section that I can turn around and blast back a bit, because I really do want to finish in last place. I need to do that for two reasons. One, I pushed it a little bit in stage 1, not too bad, but a bit. But for 2, I need to keep these targets low so that things will be easier for me going forward and I won't necessarily have to spend as much. I do plan on fully maximizing my car at some point, but I also want to do this just to show you guys, you know, the big question is, well, how cheap can I win this event? So I'm going to be trying to be spending not very much, but I also don't want to go crazy. I don't want to do this so that only the best in the world could do it. So I'm not going to be pushing crazy hard, but yeah, I like to push pretty hard in these types of events because it represents a challenge. Okay, so this is a great spot usually to turn around and blast back and just watch out for oncoming traffic. If you know where the bots usually drive, this will be easy. Getting to this part, this should be on the left. I really shouldn't be here. Okay, exactly. Get out of the way, man. And there shouldn't be too many more. Man, they go by just like lightning. Like, if we had a head-in collision at that point, it'd be about 400 kilometers an hour impact speed because we're both doing about 200. And head-on collision at that point would, well, you'd be dead. So we really don't want to do that. Definitely are going to fail a stage when it says no damage and you have a head-on collision going that speed. All right, so there you go. Few things there that you might have found interesting that you don't know, perhaps. And that'll finish up this stage. Again, I'm going to have absolutely pitiful earnings, but I'm doing this to manage the bots. And here we go. Let's just see. You can see what my earnings are like there. Yikes. Okay, similar stage. I'm going to do this one differently. So my tires are degrading as we go along. And already starting with nice average speed. You know, at first I wasn't sure if I went below average speed if it would fail me, but obviously it doesn't because I've done that a few times already. Now, there's something about bots when you're in these partial laps that I found interesting. These are the laps where assists might be giving you trouble. Okay, he was on my left. Next bot is going to be driving on the right side of the track. You see that? Left, right. You wouldn't take corners this way. This is totally wrong, but watch. Right, left, next one will be right. Next one will be left. So Took me a little while to figure this out. I kept on having head-on collisions. So they're going to drive the partial lap staying in formation. That's really interesting to know. So here I'm gaining lots of average speed going the wrong way. And I really should be thinking about, where's the leader? Where's the leader? Well, I think the leader's right there. Yoicks! A little bit close on the leader there. That's probably Hamilton. You don't, of course, see the names when these are lapped cars. Well, it's time to turn around and go the other direction. That was far too close. Now, let's go 4 times regular speed, because this is long, and I'm not trying to just create a super long video for you. As I mentioned in stage 1, some of the reasons why I'm not pushing it sometimes is that I just don't want to bore you guys to death. So this is kind of fun, 4 times regular speed. If anything interesting happens, I'll pull out. As you can see, I've already been overtaking some of these guys, and we'll see in the distance there when I start gaining on the last place cars. So far, we still can't see him. Still 2 full laps to go. Let's see here. No, he's still, so that's either going to be, it's either Hamilton or Bottas. Well, I'm not sure who that was, of course, at that speed. We'll find out at the end of the race who that was. Pretty sure that was a Mercedes. And still, I'm not seeing anyone in the distance. Oh, there we go. I just saw him. So will I catch up? That could be interesting to see. Oh, still no name now. There he is. Going through, there's Chapel Curve, heading into Stowe. And look at that. I still catch up to him and have to slow down. Well, isn't that funny? Well, I could pass him, of course. You could finish first place if you want to. You're going to create a headache for yourself later on. So I'm just showing you some of the traditional ways to save on currency. There we go. Nothing difficult about this day, but oh, my earnings, absolutely pitiful. And we'll scroll down. Now let's look at lap times. Look at their lap times. 136 is the best. I'm doing a 124. So obviously, I'm doing way faster. All right, so I've got to heat up my tires before I start the next lap, then catch a slipstream. Now, watch how far you can slide with no grip. I'm switching between brakes and gas to keep the slide going. It's kind of ridiculous. Oh, there we go. There's Bottas behind me. And, well, I was killing some time. I got to heat up these tires, so I'm going to do some more sliding. Sliding heats up the tires faster. If you stop and do donuts, you can really heat them up fast. All right, let's do another big power slide here. Not as long. Better pull out of that and get, oh, nuts. I better stay out of the way here. Oh, that was really close. Okay. I don't have a time requirement here. Oh my goodness, I'm really surprised I'm not feeling this stage. Well, I think my tires are going to be good enough now. Let's see, what are we at? 80 something, 90%. Oh yeah, by the time I get to the start finish line, these tires are going to have full heat in them. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, now I just need to go get some slipstream. I'm on lap 0. I wonder if by next lap, I wonder if they meant lap 2, that I only had to have my tires heated up by lap 2, or if they meant lap 1. Oh well, mine are heated up now. So no trouble catching this guy, obviously. And no trouble getting drafted. And by the way, look at this counter. It's funny, every special event seems to be the same thing. That counter is horribly wrong. Those are not meters. Like, that's just no way those are actual meters. And the only 2 units we see in this game are meters and yards. Like, we never talk about feet. So, because that's acting more like feet, honestly. There's no way I've gone 2 kilometers. That's just, no. So anyways, kind of a funny glitch that seems to go on in every single special event. And, well, I got a long ways to go. So let's go to 4 times regular speed again. And we'll just drive this one through. You know what? Even that is going to be a little bit slow. especially since I've got a full lap to go and I've already caught this guy. So I'm going to do some donuts, and then we're going to go 16 times regular speed. And this lap's going to end really quickly. There we go. That's it. Horrible earnings, but I'm going to take advantage of my free servicing, and I'm going to go run a whole bunch of 3-lap races at Spa, get some driver XP, and max out my daily earnings here with my M dollars. That's where I'm heading after this. Hope you enjoyed this. Stage 3 will be about 24 hours from now. Thank you guys for joining me. Please subscribe if you like what you're seeing.